Today's guests were so desperate for my advice that they packed up their car and drove for 3 days all the way from the East Coast to Los Angeles just to sit down and talk through this situation with me. So what is it that's going on? Well, Faye recently allowed her ex-husband Bryan to move back in, but she says she's ready to kick him to the curb again. So why? Well, she says Bryan believes that he is being viciously and systematically tortured by them. Via a secret military technology that targets him through electricity. Now, Bryan believes any electrical device, from a ceiling fan or car radio to his refrigerator, can be turned against him and used as a torture device. Now, Faye says Bryan spends his days combating what he claims is non-stop torment by strategically placing magnets on his body and around his home, wearing plastic soda bottle rings on his fingers and toes, and ripping out all electronics. In fact, Faye says she still hasn't forgiven Bryan for what he did to her car. Take a look.
My ex-husband, Bryan, believes that he's being tortured through electricity.
I hear the electronic noise. I get that inside of my head.
He describes it as something electronic that goes through his body, messes with his mind.
There's lots of things I get rid of in this room. Holy moly.
He believes that someone was hired by law enforcement or the government to torture him. He does crazy things to protect himself. He'll turn off the refrigerator. He's turned off the water. He's flipped circuit breakers. His current thing is rings off of soda bottles.
A plastic ring in the headlight.
Here's your cigarette lighter. You know what I mean? I got rings stuck where I don't even know I got them stuck.
He'll put them on his toes. He'll put them on his fingers. I think it's absolutely insane, crazy. This is a nightlight. He has managed to cut the prongs. At our old home, I would stay at work as long as I possibly could because I didn't want to come home to the crazy. He wraps a lot of things in foil, including wires in his car. Bryan was a successful auto mechanic for 35 years. He up and quit his job one day because he said the electronics tortured him so much.
I'm ashamed to even say it ever was my car.
Piece by piece, he ripped out every bit of electronics in my car.
I got rid of the airbag. I got rid of all the cables.
Because they are following him, watching him, torturing him every day, day after day. At one point, Bryan thought that I was working with them. He'd come into my room and he would just start screaming. I was scared. I used to sleep right here, arm's length away, with a can of insect spray. This sucker could shoot 20 feet. If he came through that doorway, I was protected. I didn't ever use it, but I came darn close. It has just physically and mentally taken a toll on our life, our marriage. I would like for Bryan to get some help. I would like him to get out of the house for good.
Well, Faye, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
And I want you to know that I know you went to a lot of trouble to get here, and I take that very, very seriously.
Thank you.
And this affects millions of people, so I know this has just been terrible for you.
It has been. Physically and mentally, I'm exhausted. I'm totally exhausted just dealing with him on a day-to-day basis. He does live with me now. He's my roommate. But boy, I wish he'd move on. Yeah. I really do.
Now, okay, you were married for how long?
24 years, leap year 96.
And during most of that time, he was not like this at all. In fact, you said he was a good provider, he was a good husband, and you were very much in love with him.
Yes.
Hey, if you liked that video, click subscribe and ring the bell to get notifications. You will not want to miss what I've got coming up.